I would really like is for us to develop a sensitivity with it. You know, some of the drills we've been doing with our eyes closed. And everybody remarks to me that, man, it's just different. I feel it more. I'm not paying attention to their movement with my eyes, right? It's just like, oh, I feel where you're going and I follow. So that following is a form of control we talked about all the time. So this instance, we will have the underhook, okay? I get underhooks from underside control when I'm already inside control, sometimes as you're passing. Sometimes this is dynamic and you're doing it after they passed your guard, but they didn't get that static side control. Okay, so we're just gonna start from having the underhook, right? So, how will you put me in side control here? Okay, so I'm here. So, if I just keep my hand like this, I'm gonna be weak. I need to frame. Okay, so I've been telling everybody the battle that's taking place is here, right? And then too, like I'm not gonna be super strong, just like raising outward with my arm. It's a flare, like I'm rotating my arm a little bit, and that's the connection I'm looking for, okay? So this foot is a little outside of my hip and I wanna keep it on the mat. My first real goal, other than feel what he gives me, is to start trying to get on my side, okay? Like this sort of a pyramid position. And when you do this, they are gonna, you don't feel super comfortable anymore, do you?
No.
Okay, what's your reaction to it? And he pushed, but he didn't like try very hard to flatten me. Okay, back on that. So I'm here. When he starts driving me back down to the mat, that's hard to do, but look. Hip shove. If they have a belt, you can hold on to their belt, but it's not about like pulling their hips as much as it is I'm like rollering under you, right? That's that hip shovel movement, okay? So here, connect, right? Get on your side. Yeah, so if they go for your head, pull yourself down. Yes, you got the back, go back. Here, that connection, start getting on your side. I'm gonna flatten you, but don't let, put your foot flat on the floor. Turn your knee inward. That just changed everything. Okay, so you're strong. That's the structure. When I flatten you, you're gonna do that lateral hip escape we did, no more muscle. Okay, so here. Oh, look at that. Okay, lastly, people oftentimes will start like transitioning to a north-south. And a normal protocol on that is this underhook side I have would be to block the hip. Okay, another thing that he might do is to, you know what, attack with a darce, an inverted arm triangle, a choke. Okay, or just a wizard. Because I have the inside position right now, right? I'm getting on my side, I'm framing. Now, if he starts retracting his arm, I'm coming right up with that. Get the connection, get on your side. I don't like that, so I'm trying to block your hip. Follow me, follow me, follow me. Yes. Right there. So that's just like a little protocol, right? They're pushing, I'm gonna pull you over. Oh, you're trying to grab around my head? I'm gonna go that way and make you go upward so you can't grab my head, right? You're trying to retract your arm, I'm gonna follow your arm. Just keep that inside position. Again, we don't want our arm like this, it's like this, right? Any questions on that? Let's start with that, and we're gonna add a couple of things, but this is the whole class is just gonna be like most of it is right there. Just a couple more things to add, but then it's like, all right, feel it. We're gonna review it at the end, and it's gonna, eyes closed, we're gonna feel out each technique that they give us. Make sense? All right, 1, 2.
Now what they're doing is trying to stop our hip escape. There are a couple other things that can happen, right?
One is that you start doing the things that allow you to come up to your knees and they grab you in a headlock. Or you try to take the back and they got your head anyway. Does any of that happen to anybody? It happened to them. Happened to you. It's kind of the normal part of it, right? So, and here's the thing. We're differentiating between headlock and Kesa Gatame. Yeah. Okay? So, and here's the key difference. Is Kesa, I've got my leg like this, right? Headlock, I got your head like this. And I'm putting that same sort of pressure on your spine. Not just your diaphragm, your ribs, chest. Yeah, I get some of that too, but now I'm concentrating it here. So from this, get on your side, I start doing this, right? And I grab. He comes to his knees, right there. See how you bridged when he came up? That was good, right? That made me put my forehead on the mat, okay? So see, you're gonna either grab their hip or grab over my arm if you can, yeah. Sleeve is fine if that's all you can get, right? But here, now, drop this leg back and pull me over. Pull me this way. Now, swing around that way and pull me towards Justin. Yes, boom. Now, you already had this. Pull the hand out of my arm. Block my face. Okay, step over to technical mount. Lean forward to break the headlock. And we've got arm bars or whatever. Okay, so come here. So look, get me in that. Just give me a side control. Give me a second. Look, we start running this protocol and here, be on your side and tuck your head first of all. See how I bridge to come out? My head's already pretty much going to come out, but if it doesn't, lock that back. Yep. Yeah. Re-stomp the groin. All right. That may occur. Headlock. Watch one more time. What essentially is happening is this. You gotta lean forward to break it. Keep your spine round. Right? Yeah. Think about your head projecting to the floor. Yes. Breaks my grip. But here, think about this, guys. If you keep your spine like that, rounded, and your head forward, you're not pulling away from that headlock. You know what they're doing with the headlock? Pulling you in. And I'm telling you, you will not win the battle of pulling away. Right? Not against everybody. Not against a total new person. Maybe. Right? So, we want to take you into the weak plane. I start getting overhead, my shoulders are weak. Most people's are. Right? Like, and if they're not, they will be after that. All right? So, that headlock is an occurrence. Let's touch on that for just a couple of minutes, and we'll see if we have time for one more thing. Okay, yes, 1, 2. Here we have worked on, right? I remember I first saw this technique from Mike Page, who's one of my original coaches, you know, and just saw him this past weekend. We were in each other's weddings, right? So, and he's a 2nd degree black belt, great, competed Masters Worlds. And Justin and I were there last year. We let him use our tub so he could cut weight. I dried the sweat out of his eye socket. That's how close we are, you know? I was like, bro, let me, like he was sweating, so he's laying there sweating so much his eyeballs filled up with like water. Oh. Right? I was like, let me get that for you, bro. But that's the echo of weight. That's the competitor life, right? So, Mike is the first person to show me this, and you can grab the belt on this definitely, right? But we did work this also at the last Hickson lesson. And it's just walking away from them. Then another thing, people will switch to reverse Kesa Gatame. Like they're gonna step over to mount to stop a lot of this underhook game, right? Now I don't wanna ever let my elbow get compressed.
Who is it?
Okay, so how I can put me in mount here. So people will like look at my frame here. People will start kind of sprawling into this hip and tilting other way. Yes, like that, see? And come back. Do that same thing, but see, I had to have a good frame there. People will be doing that, do it again. And that's kind of elbow locking me a little bit. Yeah, stay right on top of this. Just compressing, okay? So people will drop down the hip to do that, right? That's when I do this. Okay, let's get in that same underhook position. So if he starts trying to kill my frame here, I grab the hip when he does that, and I can bridge over. Okay? It's a timing aspect. Like, if you drop all the way to reverse Kesa, if he's here and he's stepping to mount, I'll end up in his guard. Okay? Here's another purpose of this underhook. Drop to the reverse Kesa. Okay? Start trying to punch me in the stomach. Right. So, anytime you feel off of this little series we're doing, you're trying to get here, and he starts dropping his hip down, grab his hip and pull it down to the mat. And then I'm doing that in conjunction with this, which will allow me to get variations of side control. Where at the very least, I end up in his guard, but I'm on top, and I've got options. Okay, so they may switch their hips. And this is the other one I was talking about. Mike was the first one to show me, right? Is you get on this side and you just kind of hear it. But Howie doesn't have a lot of good options if he knows all the stuff we did in class. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down here and look, I need to come up to my knees, but I'm gonna pinch my elbows down when I do that. Okay, that way I get shoulder connection here. Then I'm going to the side. If he posts, I go through it. Right? So just get that front headlock situation when you start running this underhook will happen. Because it'll happen even after you go belly down. Like the headlock will happen after you go belly down. When people start losing position, they will grab onto things. Right? So just, thinking about running those protocols is vitally important, right? So I'll show this same series again in next week's class, right? But this is exactly what we've been working in the evening class. And like, other than the pulling the hip down, and that came up at the Hickson private, we worked like 45 minutes of this or something at the Hickson private. Maybe not that, but we worked on the side escapes. It came up, and it's just like the first time I was there, the headlock escapes came up. The headlock escape I brought up today didn't come up there, but it's come up recently in class, and I did it with them last time I was out there, right? So, and I will say, when people start losing position, that's when a trained person still will grab onto your head, right? Like, question, put me in a knee tag. Say he came up from half guard, he's just doing this, so yeah, take me over. We're in a headlock, right? And if we don't know the proper protocols to run, we can get rolled over, right? So we'll keep this conversation going, right? And we'll do questions at the end if we have them. All right, let's roll. 1, 2.